welcome back. I've done two paintings recently, if you've seen them. If not, I will link to them in the description bar. I did this one. This was a double swirl. And then I did this one, which was, I believe, also a double swirl. Was this a this was a single swirl. But anyway, basically, they're the exact same paints, except this one had white, and not very much. I mean, you can see I did not add much white because I didn't want it to take over, which it actually did. I mean, you can see it's much more striking without the white. But I really did like the cloudy kind of effect it got. Now, because this was a double swirl, it kind of got brainy looking. Sorry, but it got this kind of brainy look because where the swirl, one swirl met the other one, it just kind of got this weird, I don't know, I didn't care for it too much. So, but I did like the effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that same white. I'm going to do another swirl. And I still have some of that white mixed because, like I said, I didn't use very much. I have not added extra water to this, which I may do just to make sure we get sort of similar consistency. I'll check that here in a minute. I mean, it hasn't been sitting too long, but you never know. So anyway, I'm going to use earthy colors so that hopefully it looks kind of atmospheric, like looking down on the earth. So I've got some green, some blue, and some, this is a pearl brown. So everything's pearl or metallic. So I have a pearl brown, I have a pearl green, and then I have a pearl blue mixed with silver. So all very shiny and fun. These probably have silicone. Now when I did my other swirls that I just showed you, nothing had silicone because I usually don't like to have silicone in my swirls because I like the lines to stand out. But I'm using some colors that I already had mixed, so they do have some silicone in them. But that's okay. Okay, so all that needed was just a drop. I think it's just because there wasn't very much in the cup, so it had already started to dry out a little bit, even though there was a lid on there. Alright, so like I said, I'm just going to do a single swirl, and I just have a little canvas panel here. This is a Master's Touch canvas panel. And I'm going to layer, let's see, I'm not really sure. I haven't really thought this through. I'm just going to layer like I did before. No particular order. So, I'm not worried about one being in the center and something else being in the middle. Like I said, I just want it to look kind of atmospheric, kind of like you're looking down on Earth from the sky. Let's add a little white here. I don't want to forget my white. And like I said, I added probably that much, only about twice that much white in between layers before, and it just really wanted to steal the show. Sometimes colors do that though. Okay. I really like this blue. A very oceany view of the earth, I think. I've never had white do that before, so I'm kind of curious to see if it's going to do that again, or if it was a little bit of a fluke. We'll see. And like I said, the colors I'm using with it are mixed differently. Since the other ones were mixed with just water and no silicone, and these are mixed with a medium. Put a little bit more brown in there, and silicone, so that might make a difference too. There's so many variables when you're doing fluid art that sometimes it's hard to tell what exactly is causing it unless you do a whole bunch of experiments. And this is just take 3, so since I did 2 paintings before. All right, let's add a little bit more green and I think we'll be done. Actually, that uses up all of my green. I have a little bit of brown left. That's okay. And one more drop of white. All right, here we go. Make sure I pour out of where I poured into. I really like these earthy colors. Okay. Let's see. I have some cardboard here. Sometimes with this canvas panel, even if you don't normally use cardboard on your corners to kind of help keep the paint, if you're using a canvas panel, it really does actually just help hold the canvas panel, since the more of the canvas panel gets covered, the harder it is to hold on to the canvas panel, since it doesn't have sides or that backing, or that wood, sorry, from the canvas. Yeah, see, since this has silicone, we're getting cells and not so much that cloudy pattern. And my other paints were mixed thinner, because that first one I did, they were mixed thick for a swirl. And these are mixed thinner for like a regular pour, so. Take 3, we got different results. And that's really interesting, because now I know it needs that, whoa. All right, it needs that thicker paint to react with to cause that cloudiness. So I'll definitely have a take 4. I'm not sure exactly when. I have some other projects in process, and yeah, and I'm just getting, because of the silicone and the thinner paints, I'm getting more zigzaggy compared to the really nice tight swirl pattern that you get without it. I'm going to flip these over so that I don't have, my painting doesn't stick to the cups. All right. There we go. So there we go. It still looks kind of earthy though, doesn't it? I still got kind of the effect I got. Most of it's green. The brown pretty much disappeared, and the blue pretty much disappeared, which was interesting. So same technique, 3 totally different results, which just goes to show you that if you're trying to achieve a specific effect on a technique, it really doesn't take much tweaking to get either the wrong results or the right results. So if you're having a hard time, definitely ask questions in any group that you're in. I have a group, if you're not in one, called Fluid Art Fanatics. The best way to do it sometimes is just to do a video and let people watch the video. But yeah, because just little tiny changes can make all the difference in the world. I mean, that was a swirl. This was a swirl. And this was a swirl with very little differences in the way the paints were mixed and what was in the paint. So yeah, just tiny tweaks can make a huge difference in your pours. So if you're having trouble, you might be really, really close and it just needs a tad bit of tweaking. So hopefully that's encouraging and not, that you might be just about there with just a little bit difference in your mixing or the types of paints you're using. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. If you want to see me experiment with this technique in a different way, let me know that as well. And we will see you next time, guys. Happy pouring!